Yes, he should be busy with the monster. Now while he's gone, I can quickly sneak into his room and...
Haha, I knew it! I knew you would try to attempt to get in here while I was gone. That's why I set the force field around the door. No more crap you can sneak into my room.
But then how do you get in?
Easy enough, I said so only humans and cats can get in. To be quite frank, I kind of figured you were something else, because, quite frankly, you don't look normal.
So, that's how you're going to play it. I shall be back.
Yeah, and yours too.
Who was that?
Nobody. Just some weirdo. He keeps popping up. At least he can't put any more shit in my room.
Huh.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Mad Matt.
And I'm Extreme Travisty.
And today we have an interesting review for you. It's called Ultraman. But it's not the Ultraman series, it's a new movie. Bizarrely named Mega Monster Battle Ultra Galaxy Legacy.
I'm confused already with that title.
Well, apparently, the long and the short of it is, it's a movie based after their video game series, which is also relatively good and you can't get because it's on PlayStation 2.
Really? PlayStation 2, I have that, but I'm probably...
But it's not getting ported to America.
Ah, okay.
Bull. It's an awesome series from right here. But I digress. We start off the beginning of the movie, like any movie, in space! We see Ultraman Mobius fighting off the first monster from the original Ultraman series. And they're both glowing balls of light until they crash land and then just quickly blow up the little monster again.
Yeah, pretty good to start off a movie. I mean, monster versus the hero or whatever.
Explosions!
Yes, that's all this movie needs is explosions. Right at the get-go, they get it right there.
So right after this, we're introduced to the fact that there's this other villain thing, which used to be an Ultraman. As development goes on throughout the movie, we realize he was a regular Ultraman at first, but was corrupted by some space alien that was killed a couple centuries ago, and therefore became an Ultraman creature that is allowed to control monsters, and when given the right item, he's allowed to control up to 100 of them. And guess what? He gets that item in this movie!
Yeah, the whole thing with him being exiled because he was trying to take the light.
Yeah, the new development in the Ultraman world is that their planet, in order to become Ultraman, they had to make an artificial sun, and energy from that artificial sun made them Ultraman, otherwise they looked a lot like humans.
Yeah.
And he tried to take it and was exiled because he scorched himself good on it.
Yeah. You don't want to try to do that.
So, flash forward elsewhere in the galaxy, in the present time frame that this is taking place in, which they never explain.
No.
And we've got Ray from his own series spin-off in Ultraman, where he's the guy who slides the card and summons one of 3 monsters. One of them being Gamora, which will kick your ass, royal.
Epic. Completely.
Well, they find his touchdown on a planet, and what should you know? A meteor!
Yay!
So, what should come out of a meteor but another giant monster? So, Ray from his own spin-off series pops out his card reader and brings out Gamora. Gamora, of course, makes quick work of this until Ultra Mobius appears.
Yep.
Mobius then tells them about how they were attacked by this alien merged Ultraman who tried to originally steal the light from their planet, and also tells them of the ultra awesome fight that happened.
Oh my god, there were so many Ultramen, you can't even tell which one's from which. Of course he can.
I can tell about 50% of them. There's a huge gaggle of just generic Ultramen that aren't on any show, they're just generic background Ultramen. But then you get the entire series run. You got the Child Ultraman from the Game Boy game from Japan. You get all of the original Ultramen. You get the American Ultraman, the Australian Ultraman, the American cartoon Ultraman. Get live action costumes.
Nice.
I mean, it's just nuts. You could literally freeze frame this for a couple hours and find new ones and go, oh, there's that one. In the end, he beats the snot out of all of them, steals the light, and runs off.
As the planet also freezes over with many of them on it still.
Ultraman Toro manages to capture the last glimmers of light from the thing that was originally there to save it in case any Ultraman managed to come back. Which they do with Ray. Originally Mobius drops down with Ray. They have a few monster fights and end up bumping into the original Ultraman and Ultra 7. Which they also have their own little fight, both right there and another one as they reach the tower.
Yeah.
But in the long run, the three Ultramen finally reach Toro. They manage to wake him up long enough for him to give them the light, which gives them their old summoning equipment to transform into Ultramen again, and head off with Ray to the monster graveyard to help fight Belial and stop him from destroying the universe. Meanwhile, Ray's team is trying to find out what's going on and figure that they went back to the planet of light, to which they are suddenly attacked by what appears to be a UFO at first.
Yeah.
That is, unveils itself to actually be a dragon that was coiled up and wraps around the ship. To which a Zeton, one of the creators of the Zeton monster, apparently teleports on board and threatens to take over the ship, to which Ultraman Dyna in his human form comes in and immediately bashes his skull in.
Oh yeah.
He then hops back outside, takes care of the dragon, and teleports them with him, apparently to the monster graveyard, where everything's taking place. While we're also doing all of this, Ultraman and Ultraman 7 have been making mentions of this other Ultraman who also tried to attempt to take the light, whom we figure out eventually is actually the son of Ultra 7, aptly named Ultra Zero. But in the long scheme of things, they probably figure out, thanks to Seven throwing his eye buster, that they apparently are under attack and need help. To which Ultraman King finally unleashes Zero, and Zero busts off his armor and runs off to save them. He gets there relatively fast, knocks some of the monsters around, and picks up Seven and drags off to safety. To which we assume Ultraman 7's dying as his eyes turn off.
Yeah.
So we get an emotional moment, and then he just goes berserk on all the monsters, killing them all, including Zeton.
Oh. Just like epic fail for all the monsters.
He's literally doing everything from beam attacks to martial arts to just using his double eye busters to slash them anew. Zero does eventually defeat Belial, but then uberness.
Mega uberness.
All of the monsters and Belial merge into one and pop out of the lava.
Holy crap.
And you can tell this thing's intricate. You can see every freaking pair of eyes this monster is made out of.
Kinda weird, but it makes sense, sort of.
You can see all the eyes, you can see the claws, the limbs and everything. It just looks awesome, not to mention it looks like a demon.
Oh yeah.
With Belial poking out at the top of the head.
Yeah, but then it turns out that Ray is able to use the big weapon that Belial used to have to control all the monsters that are in this giant monster.
So he makes all the monsters turn against one another, while all the Ultramen and his teammates team up to finally take down the big uberness. And nice little epic atomic explosion. And also destroys the staff while taking him down. So, having finished off this monster, the humans get to see the planet of light. We get to meet the Ultramen in their human forms again. Shake hands, thank everyone for helping save the galaxy. Then we get a big epic scene with Ultra Claws and him announcing to all the other Ultramen. And it'll literally mean all the other Ultramen. They slowly show all of them in his big epic speech about how they're gonna go off and save the galaxy. Ultraman Dyna takes the humans back into space with him as he continues his little adventure out into the far reaches. And then we pan out to the stars again, and slowly coming on a crater with a familiar form. And one glowing eye.
He's not dead yet. Son of a...
Who would have figured?
No, really.
Sequel!
Ah!
In case you're wondering why this video seems so short, it's really got not much of any plot, really, which actually does not hinder this at all. The plot is very small and therefore uncomplicated and easy to follow. What you're really watching this for is giant monster mashes, and you get it in spades. You get monsters, explosions, special effects galore, and that's what you want with Ultraman. And I might also add that this entire movie, as far as I'm aware, is shot in blue and green screen, which means they did a George Lucas and made it not suck.
Oh yeah.
It's so epically not suck. George Lucas officially has nothing on the Japanese.
Oh man.
All you need is giant monsters and explosions. What the hell's wrong with you, Lucas?
And the only other thing that was, besides all that, was the one fanboy throughout the entire movie.
Oh yeah, the fanboy is just wonderful for little giggles because he spazzes out with every Ultraman that walks on the screen.
Yeah. Oh my god, that was awesome.
He's like the extreme ultra geek. He's a bigger geek than me.
And, well, of course me.
You're new to this.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, Mega Monster Battle Ultra Galaxy Legend is definitely a good place to start if you're completely new to the series. They don't really cover too much of the background, but what they do explain is that a lot of these guys can transform into giants or can summon giant monsters, and they recognize a lot of monsters flying around right now because they are some of the top-notch premium monsters from the entire run, from almost to the very beginning of the 40-year run series. Literally, they used the first freaking monster in the very beginning of the movie. If you want a movie, watch it. This one's awesome. This is a good place to start for any possible fan of the Ultraman series. It's brand new. It's not been actually officially released in the States, and if you can find it, you can download it. It's not licensed. It's technically public domain. Although, if it does eventually finally get released like it should, please buy it. It's awesome. It's made of wind. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time.